I am going to take a break real quick. I need to go use the restroom because I've been drinking coffee. The coffee is doing coffee things. Be back in just a minute. It won't take long. Okay, sorry about that. I still have this big fat cup of coffee. On over there. Bump, bump. And now we can run straight up to the prince's fight. Or princess fight, whatever you want to call them. I'd say both are pretty apt. This is the final fight that we need to do in order to get to the end of the game, to get to the final boss of all of Dark Souls 3. So I am gonna try and do this fight. We have about maybe 20 minutes left before I'll probably need to look into cut and stream and getting ready for bed. I was up until almost 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And that was not a smart decision. So I had to get up at 7:45. Ooh. Let's just go this way. You guys enjoy your little walk. Don't concern yourselves with me. Nothing going on over here. Yeah, this boss, I think, has a really cool... Like, the way you do this boss fight, I think, is really interesting. I remember the mechanic, but I don't remember the timing of the attacks. So I'll probably get fucked up a whole bunch. But let's get some of those member berries.
Oh dear. Another dogged contender. Welcome, unkindled one, purloiner of cinders. Mind you, the mantle of Lord interests me none. The fire-linking curse, the legacy of lords, let it all fade into nothing. You've done quite enough. Now have your rest.
Cool. That was dumb.
Marks are brave, but you may rest here too, if you like.
That was a really dumb move on my part. So that was one thing that I forgot, that he teleports and does a swing right at the start of the fight. This is probably one of the longer run backs. But yeah, this guy, he likes to, I don't mind teleporting around unless you're fucking Radagon. I don't like when he starts teleporting around. That is not a fun mechanic in that fight for me, but Radagon feels like Michael Bay, the boss fight, where everything is exploding. Everything is an AoE effect. Everything is chaos and pain and misery. Go back down, because this is far from the first, this is far from the last time that we're gonna ever fight this guy. But luckily now, I don't think we get the cutscene. So we can just go in and die immediately. That was greed on my part. Oh, man. Damn it. I was like a second too late on that dodge. Well, I mean, if you want like the worst runbacks in history, just go to Demon Souls. Specifically, the Valley of Defilement before you have the shortcut to the Dirty Colossus unlocked. I would argue that is the absolute worst run back. Hell, you can go watch my playthrough of Demon Souls if you want to see it multiple times. Valley of Defilement is one of my least favorite zones in all of... And that includes Horsefuck Valley. They're almost tied for worst zone for me. Horsefuck Valley takes it by just a little bit because it has infinitely spawning horses that will chase you down until you get to the boss room. Whereas Demon Souls just has the little shitty little guys who do those little annoying one-hit attacks. Those like random super fast combos. Again, it's all about like the lack of telegraphs is what bothers me with certain attacks. If there's not going to be a telegraph of this attack coming, that attack should also not do half of your health and damage. It should be less. Ah, too early. Note, if he does that, run behind him. All the runbacks of optional bosses in Dark Souls 2 are so bad. I would argue that the worst runback for optional bosses in Dark Souls 2, though, out of all of the optional bosses, Blue Smelter, I think, is the worst runback. I think it's one of the worst runbacks in all of Souls history. Like, there's nothing good about it. It's actually so bad that I spent an entire day preparing the run back to not be bad. And I guess I'll explain what I mean by that. I spent an entire day grinding the ever-loving fuck out of those enemies. I'd just killing them over and over again. I'd kill them, use the feather, and go back, kill them again, go back, kill them again, go back, kill them again. Because in you too. So I don't know if you did this as, you know, if you did it intentionally or if you just had to run back so many times. I was just like, I don't want to fucking fight all this shit and then have to fucking, you know, enter Blue Smelter with depleted resources because there's so much actual fucking garbage in the way. And so I just went, it got to the point where I couldn't, like, the enemies just, yeah, intentionally stopped, they stopped spawning because you killed them so many times, which is a mechanic in, whoop. Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm fucking this what? Get at least one hit in. There we go. Heal. Ah, fucking shit. God damn it, that was a bad attempt.
But you may rest here too.
That was a total skill issue on my part. So the Sir alone is also pretty bad for a run back. And he's another one of those, I don't think he's a bad boss, but he's another one of those bosses with that fucked up teleport grab mechanic. That, like, the hitbox for his, like, his grab attack, or his impale attack, I guess is probably a more apt term for it. That run back, well, not that run back, but that attack, the hit detection for that attack is so fucking jank. But, yeah. Sir alone is another bad one. You know what's funny is the reason I didn't do all the sorceries and hexes and miracles in Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin was, well, it was mainly because you'd have to go to New Game Plus 2, and I didn't want to subject myself to that much Dark Souls 2. But also, I think in Scholar of the First Sin, they require you to get all the sorceries, miracles, and hexes, and all that shit from the DLC as well. Oh. The fuck was that? Ah, shit. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm just trying to sip, man. I deserve that. That was okay. Oh, I thought I was gonna be dead. No, yeah, I was dead. Felt like more like a shitty mod where they wanted to make the game harder only by spamming areas full of enemies. Yeah. Yeah, there's a YouTuber who goes by Mauler who, H-Bomber guy went on this huge, like, massive rant about why Dark Souls 2 is such a good game. He called it in defense of Dark Souls 2. Mauler then goes through every point that H-Bomber guy made in his video and in detail provides, like, actual footage examples of why he's wrong, as well as just like he critiques every point that the dude makes. And H-Bomber guy is usually somebody who has some pretty decent opinions on things. That was not the case with Dark Souls 2. is a fucking collection of shit takes. This boss is an example of me having a skill issue. Teleport over here. Yep. Oh man. Oop. Fuck, man. God damn it.
But you rest here too, if you like.
Like, he did a short little teleport there. And that short little teleport just fucked up my timing on the dodges. I had a good little back and forth going there. Also, I don't think I can be using, thinking about it. Quick. I don't think I'm going to be using, whatchamacallit. The Ashen Estus. So, let's go back to Firelink and get myself some more Estus healing instead of the Ashen Flask. I don't think this would be a fight where casting magic would be well advised. I think he can have his opinion. I don't have to share. Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing is like it wasn't like they had a beef or anything like that. They were just
like that.
You know, they had differing opinions. And it was like this was back in the day when like, you know, video replies were all the rage or all the craze. I want to take a look at something real quick from this little child. There you are.
Aha, so.
Oh man. That's a really good pyromancy. Wall Slayer, Great Sword, Mjolnir's Holy Sword, Great Sword of Judgment, Wolf Knight. Moonlight Greatsword! You can get it from Osiris, but instead I took that instead of the Moonlight Greatsword. I probably could have taken the Moonlight Greatsword and, you know, put it to effective use with 16 strength, but I don't know. I like the faster attacking weapons seem to be benefiting me in here. What the fuck is that cat doing? Dragon Slayer armor. Is this the fastest route back to this boss? That's the one thing I'm not sure of. Also, I want to take a look at maybe not that or that. Wait. Painted Guardians. How is the Painted Guardians? Oh boy. Yo. Now we look good. Midir in Dark Souls 3 is the best dragon boss of From Software. Many of the other dragon fights are not so great. I would agree with that as well. I think Midir is a great boss. It's kind of why I was trying to rush down Frida earlier. But I just got kind of tired of having a massive skill issue with her, so we're trying a different boss for a little while. We'll probably resume Frida tomorrow. I Yeah, I think my goal tomorrow will be to maybe not beat Frida because, you know, like I said, it's such a long fucking fight. But at least get past phase 1 consistently. That should be like a goal for tomorrow's stream. But for now, we're gonna fuck around with this chucklehead. Alright, let's get fucked up some more. Don't worry, dude. I was just trying to heal up real quick. Jesus. That is maybe Calamite and Placidus X. Yeah, Placidus X is a bit of a Calamite, I would say, is not like a good fight. It's good for what it is. It was, you know, Calamite walked so that Midir could run. Is kind of my take on that. As in that Calamite wasn't a bad fight, but it has some issues, particularly with some of the attacks being just like so fucking massive that if you're like up in her shit attacking her, you're gonna take damage from this attack no matter what. And I think that you should be given ample opportunity to get away from a boss if they start winding up for like a strong attack. But I feel like some of Calamite's attacks, I feel like some of his attacks are not really geared that way. It's just like if you, it's that clairvoyance issue is what I call it, where the game expects you to know that the attack is coming. It's like, yeah, I know the attack's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna do a breath attack, but it's the one where like he flies up in the air and then breathes down on the ground. It's just like, it's like the Ancient Dragon from Dark Souls 2. You want to talk about a shitty boss fight with a shitty fucking run back? Go fight the Ancient Dragon in Dark Souls 2. That attack is like, if you don't, I don't know how to really, their dragon fights are not good or too gimmicky like in Sekiro. Oh, like the Ancient Dragon or whatever that was in Sekiro that is, I mean, it's a cool spectacle of a fight in Sekiro at least. But yeah, like I was saying, Calamite, you know, Calamite's a good fight, but like, you know, there's that tail cut that you can get from Calamite, which is, if you go for the tail cut on Calamite, you're just gonna have the worst time of your life. Okay, we got a little. We can do one more. I think one more attempt. But yeah, Calamite. That'll definitely be a boss fight that like, if you go for the tail cut, you're gonna be there for a long fucking time. I've done it. The weapon is very good. I'd argue it's like probably one of the best, if not the best, strength weapons in the game. But it's just like getting that tail cut is so fucking. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll try one more time. I don't expect to actually beat it, but it's another 2-phase boss. for noticing a trend here in Dark Souls 3. A trend that unfortunately Liza P decided to take to its logical extreme. And now I'm over here talking shit about Liza P, but it, like, not really. But also, like, I haven't played it, so I don't know how bad it is, but I do know from, like, word of mouth, I've heard that Liza P is rotten with, you know, a lot of the bosses. Start doing, like, you know, are all two-phase bosses. Ancient Dragon in Dark Souls 2 is not a good boss, but I somehow never had problems beating it. Well, I mean, that's perfectly fine, you know. It's like with me, like, I don't know if you saw my Calamite fight in Dark Souls, but I killed him first try. He used to be a boss that would give me so much fucking trouble. Interesting. I guess I did so bad that the game was just like, alright. That was greed. Ah, he's doing a second attack. Heal up, and I deserve that. Heal up again. God. Fuck you, you downward slam attack. Fuck that attack. Ooh, that was close to not being... It was close to being that. Oh, shit, man! I found out a way of fighting... what's your, found out a way of fighting that is idiotic proof? What's that way of fighting that you found that to be idiot proof, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Are you talking about Ancient Dragon? And I don't like that, like, you know, I remember somebody tried giving me advice for the Ancient Dragon fight, and they're like, oh, just run towards the tail whenever it flies up in the air. It's like, that doesn't work. Because the boss will rotate as it's targeting you for the attack. And so you end up running in like a spiral outwards. Basically what you need to do is complete 180, hit that, you know, do that, and then start running. And hope that you get away fast enough from its downward breath attack that basically will one-shot you if you've been trying to grind the boss out for a while. So yeah, I think this will be my last attempt for the night. I gotta call my girlfriend after this. I want to see if this works. Whoop. Man. I deserve it. Oh, I thought he was doing his crazy charge attack. Holy shit, we did phase 1. How clutch would that be if I first try this? But now that I've said how clutch would it be if I first try this, it means that I'm not going to first try this.
Dear brother, I'm on my way.
He's about to get a lot more aggressive. And
Brother,
if you don't know the mechanics of this fight, you stand before the ancient dragon, let him spit fire at you. At the last moment, he starts to attack you. Starts the attack, you run to his right leg, hit it. When he's finished, run back before his head, and he will continue until. Oh, so you bait out a certain attack. He'll continue until he's dead. Yeah, and that's kind of how I handle bosses in the dragon bosses in Elden Ring. So I'll try and bait out those breath attacks, hop on charge towards them. And then you can get a bunch of attacks on their stomach. So yeah, now this guy is about to get like super aggressive. And we're about to have a very... Where are you? Yeah. So, that's phase 2. And the way I was fighting him, phase 2 wouldn't be that bad. But that's going to have to be for another time. It is 11 o'clock. Now that I have a big boy job again, I'm going to have to end it.